So this this is angle property number 5. This is a very long name. Angles at the center is twice angle at the circumference. So when you need to be presenting this property, you need to write the long property in the bracket. So that's the troublesome part. Okay, other than that, right? Okay, well, I'll show you the main idea, and there are 3 little variation. So because of the variation, so I draw 3 small circles here for you. So for this one, we will look for a chord. Same thing, you look for a chord. So definition of a chord, it should sit nicely on the circumference. Okay, so just now when you were exploring angle in the same segment, we already did this. So this chord is sitting on the circumference. Sorry. This angle is sitting on the circumference. So this angle is sitting on the circumference and it is facing this chord. Okay, so with the same chord, I can create another angle that is at the center. So I'm going to create another angle to be facing the same chord, but I'm going to do it from the center. So that actually became the radius. So this angle is opposite the same chord. This angle is opposite the same chord as well, but the angle will be directly twice of it. So if this is angle X, the one at the center will be 2x. So the characteristic is the 2 angles will face the same chord, but the position of the angle is different. One is at the circumference, one is sitting at the center. So there are some variation on this one. So I will show you. One of them look totally different. So I'm going to start off with the one at the center. So the variation, right, will be with the one at the center. Sometimes the one at the circumference might just brush across the diameter, the center. So if you look carefully, this is still sitting on the circumference and it is still facing the same chord. So this will still be an X. However, because of the way that it brushed across the side of this triangle, this part becomes the diameter. Being the diameter, our property number 3 will come in. So if this part is the diameter, there will be a 90-degree here. So this is one of the variation where it's like kind of slanted through and then it brushed against the center. So a diameter is created in the process. So another one will be something like this. This is a common one where a student will get tricked. So the one at the center very much couldn't move. The angle at the center facing the chord is rather fixed because there's only one center. But around the circumference, there are so many points. So that's why this is the tricky part. So sometimes it can be so slanted to the side that you will be misleaded that they are the same. So there's actually not. So this guy is still sitting on the circumference. This guy is still sitting on the center. So this should be a X. So this one is the one that's easily misunderstood as angle in the same segment. Okay. So the last one is the one where, so like I mentioned, the circumference, there's a lot of points on the circumference. So the variation of that point is a lot more, but there's not much variation for the one at the center. Okay, so what if, right, the one at the circumference turns out to be on this side? So if it turns out to be on this side, we will not use this angle. We will not use this angle. We will use the reflex angle. So this reflex angle will be 2x. The one at the circumference will still be x. But if you look, right, this is a reflex angle. So this one will be obtuse. So if it happens in such a way, the property will still stand. The guy at the center will still be 2x. The guy at the circumference will still be x. But however, we are dealing with the reflex and the obtuse angle portion.